Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. So welcome to your deep love read. This is going to be from like mid-May till the end of June. So really the Venus retrograde season. I am linking also in the description box the Venus retrograde video that I did, and as well as the Destiny Meets Karma video that has to do with the nodal energies that we're going to be going through for the next 18 months. I timestamped those, guys, so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but definitely start off with your rising sign because that would be resonating with you the most. Then your sun, then your moon. Okay, so let's pull a heart oracle. Okay, and if you don't know your chart, and I think each of those videos, I actually linked in the description box additionally a free site that you can go to get a free copy of your birth chart. And remember, if you happen to have no visible placements in a general birth chart that you get, typically when if you use an astrologer, like the program that I have, we get all the particulars, right? What's going on in the houses. But a lot of times these free birth charts, they don't give you placements. So just remember that you go with the natural ruler, and whoever ended up, only time will tell, sorry, let me talk about this first. My energies don't get wonky, only because I'm getting a lot of emails about this. So if a house has nothing placed in it, you need to understand that we all have certain energies in each of the 12 houses. So if something's empty, you're just going to go with its natural, the natural ruler of that house and the natural sign. So Aries is the first house, right? Naturally ruled by Mars. Second house is Taurus, ruled by Venus. Third house is Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Fourth house is Cancer, ruled by the Moon. Fifth house, the house of fun, that's Leo's natural house. It's ruled by the Sun. The sixth house is Virgo. That has to do with health and your day-to-day work environment. That's ruled by Mercury as well. Then we have the seventh house, Libra. That's relationships, right? Ruled by Venus. Eighth house, we have Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. Ninth house, we have Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. 10th house, we have Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. 11th, Aquarius, ruled by Uranus. And 12th, we have Pisces, ruled by Neptune. Okay, so if you have any of those empty, just come back to this video and play this part. All right, I didn't mean to digress, but I just got off my computer answering many emails, and a lot of people are like, I have nothing in this house, I have no placement. We all have those natural placements anyway, and you may very well have other like deep placements. All right, let's get into this. So any messages for our Taurus friends for mid-May to the end of June 2020, the Venus retrograde period? Any messages that our Taurus friends need to know? So let's go. I'm going to be pulling a line for the past, present, outcome, and then a separate line for the near future. Then I'll sweep that, and then we'll do an oracle read only, okay? Okay. So starting off, Six of Wands. So in your past, I like that. I mean, you were feeling like really good about this connection in the past. Six of Wands is lots of passion. This is success. This is respect. You felt like you were in a good space, right? You were in a good space. Then we have the Four of Cups energy. The reverse of the Four of Cups energy really does mean the same thing as the upright. It's just a more intense emotion. So there might be a feeling of restlessness. For some of you, this could be a tinge of boredom if you've been in a relationship for a long time. But for many of you, this is going to be really getting out that checklist, right? I always call this the checklist card, where you're identifying qualities in your partner that you don't like, okay, for lack of a better term. And really what it is, though, is very often these things that you're identifying that you don't like can be unhealed wounds or unhealed trauma within you regarding relationships. Now, that could be from past relationships, or it could simply be from the past of what you learned relationship is supposed to be like. And so a good example of that is, maybe you were in a home where your parents fought a lot. You didn't see a lot of resolution, where you would just see the fighting without because there's nothing wrong with arguing, but it's important for kids to see the resolution, right? So that they don't think that that's the way life is supposed to be, because, being exposed to something like that as a child can grow you into an individual who either incites arguments or runs the hell away from them. Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving that as a mundane example. I'm not saying that that's exactly right, but it is this identification of, you might have gone through something in a past relationship and it created this wound in you, and then without even realizing it and with no malice attached, where you end up projecting that energy onto the person that you're with, where you want them to be a certain way, you don't want to make any mistakes that you've made before, obviously. So you want to look at where the restlessness is coming from. Okay. Now, I do want to also say that sometimes this restlessness is coming because somebody else is still in your energy field from the deep past. Okay. So it can create that where, even if though it didn't work out with that person, maybe that person exhibited certain qualities that you really did resonate with, even though that person wasn't good for you and it didn't work, and you wanting your current partner to be more like that. Do you know what I mean? So it could be a mix of these things, but it is you identifying things that you're really not happy about, but really it's unhealed trauma is really what it is. Okay. And you may feel way more ready. Actually, I should be using this in the past because this was the past, way more ready for love than you actually were, right? And not that you didn't want love and all of that, but just because these things were still pretty active in your energy field, these wounds were you were still needing to tend to them. Now, when I say the past, guys, this could be last week, last month, 3 months ago, 2 or 3 years ago. It's going to be different for all of you, because when I say the past, first of all, the energy doesn't even understand that, right? Because time is man-made, and I don't want to get all ethereal on you guys, but it is man-made. So this is really going to go according to your energy. So even if you broke up with somebody 3 years ago and they're still very active in your energy, that would be relevant to you. So it's a general reading. Apply it as you see fit, right? And then we have the 7 of coins in reverse. So coins obviously are money, resources, anything like that. In relationship reads, it's also mental, physical, and emotional connection. Now, I like that 7, and I want to be clear here, because this is another one I get emails about a lot. When I say, 7 is the 4 of the world and the 3 plus the Trinity. We have the 4 main elements of the world that we know, right? The tangible 3D world. And then we have the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, that's associated with heaven, or heaven, that metaphorical heaven space at the very least. So the 7 is basically where heaven and earth meet. So it's a beautiful number, and it typically indicates, a blessing. It's a great number. So the 7 of coins upright does mean putting in that hard work and getting the blessings on the other side. It doesn't mean that you've arrived. It means that you're on the right path. And in the reverse, this indicates that you're putting your work into something, or you were putting your work into something, right? Having to do with this connection, but somebody was not working at it equal to you. Okay. Now, this could also very literally mean, and I'm going to throw this in just because we have 20% unemployment, over 30 million people are unemployed. Money could be an issue at this time as well, where you were in a situation where you were starting on the trajectory of something, and all of a sudden everything kind of got truncated and taken away from you. And we always want to pay closest attention to this midline. So money can be an issue in this connection. Now, we do have the 3 of coins energy. I like this, Taurus, I do. 3 of Pentacles, great. Mars and Capricorn energy. So this is about, I call this the Architect card. So this is the card of building. So, and when I say architect card, think about what that means. The architect draws the blueprints and then gives them to the contractor to build the building, right? You could change your idea a bunch of times, but it's at least having the intention of moving forward and building. So this is a very nice card. It really is. And to have the 6 of Wands, so this tells me that you were in a space where, you guys were doing well. There was mutual respect. You guys were building. There were things, though, from your past that might have been inflecting the relationship a little bit. that was making you, this Four of Cups in reverse energy was making you not feel not connected. Now, for some of you, this feeling of restlessness in the Four of Cups energy could be because money is an issue. And you are, thinking back to, oh, I remember back when I didn't have money. I remember back when I was in that other relationship and money was an issue and it made me feel really uncomfortable. Or I remember back to when I was a kid and I didn't have money and this is making me feel seriously uncomfortable. Right? It could be any of those things that could be inflecting the relationship. Okay? But the fact that we have the Three of Coins in the upright does indicate to me that the intention of this energy was good. And then we have the Five of Swords energy. So the Five of Swords is a Venus in Aquarius energy. And so 5 is conflict, swords are truth and conversation. But it doesn't have to be like a fight. Meaning it's that very important conversation that you have to have about how things are going to be going into the future. How are things going to be different? Again, because it's Venus in Aquarius. So obviously Venus rules it's that seventh house energy of relationship. It's also that second house of resources. So we have to look at that, right? And then we have Aquarius is about, all right, ruled by Uranus. Whatever you're doing, whatever's been going on right now, it needs to be done differently. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to change it up? What's it going to look like? Right? Having that conversation. Right? I feel a very sort of nervous rumble in this past leading up to right now. But right now, I love this. We have the Empress energy. So this is Venus. The Empress is the mother of the tarot. So for some of you, this could be literally pregnancy. When this energy comes up, guys, you want to watch it if you're not looking to get pregnant. But it is a Venusian energy, which is quite beautiful, obviously, because you guys are ruled by Venus, really lovely. About Venus, what's beautiful about Venus is it's sort of all-encompassing because while Venus is about love, Venus is also about money, resources, right, you guys, second house. It's also about self-esteem and self-respect and feeling really good about being involved in a connection. So I do like that. Now, also, again, being the mother of the tarot, she's perpetually pregnant. So it's this constant growing of cycles that you're really focused on right now, Taurus. There's a growing of cycles in your life. You're really looking to plant some seeds, allow them to grow, and move on into that next cycle. This is very much what you're very, very focused on right now, which is good. Now, we are dealing with the Ten of Swords in reverse energy. Swords are words. Okay, this is one sword at a time over time. This is a Mercury and Virgo energy. And in the reverse, Mercury, remember, from an alchemical perspective, is, I've mentioned this before, it's that quicksilver, which is very transformable. So it's about moving from being one state to another state. So this is about moving forward, okay? The fact that this is in reverse tells me that some sort of communication came in that's preventing you from moving forward in this connection, Taurus. Now, literally, it could be that you got stabbed in the back as well, where you found out something came to light. Whenever we have the Ten of Swords energy, just means it's a very emotional thing, and it's happened already. I do get that it's happened already. Okay, there's a lot of fear here too. I'm kind of jumping forward to this. Whenever we have the Strength reverse, there's fear. There's fear that something's not going to work out. There's fear of losing something. There's fear of getting hurt. There's fear of not being respected. There's just fear. And often when we, because the Strength card is a Leo energy, and whenever we have a Leo energy in reverse, you want to watch out for egotism. And it's egotism based in fear. Well, all egotism is, right? Because it's this attempt to protect ourselves, right? It's this attempt to protect ourselves. But I do have, the Queen of Wands is a significant delay. Okay, it's Pisces and Aries energy. In reverse, Aries indicates, a fresh start, a new perspective. Pisces is about, Pisces is that 12th house energy ruled by Neptune. So it's about fantasy, and it's about, what you really dream. It's like that path that you're dreaming about, that you feel really fired up about. And in the reverse, it indicates delay for some of you. others of you, it's going to mean that it's not happening, because whenever we have the wands is a fiery energy, right? Wands is fire. Fire is a yang energy. It's a male energy, okay? The wands are also a phallic symbol. So often when we get a wand energy in reverse, for some of you, it's going to mean delay. For others of you, you want to watch out that you're not being manipulated by some sort of energy that's very male dominant like, even if it's a female. We're not talking about gender here. We're talking about what the energy means. So it's almost like that controlling patriarchal kind of manipulation. It could also indicate somebody who is maybe entertaining somebody outside the relationship. Whenever we have that energy in reverse, it can certainly mean that, okay? Now, that's like the center energy here currently. And then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Now, the Ten of Cups in reverse simply means that there is a reason why this is not upright. And let me explain. There could be some sort of family situation, some sort of friendship situation, and guys, it could even be the quarantine. It could even mean everything that's going on right now that's creating the delay and getting in the way of you guys being able to move forward as you guys want to. And the Ten of Cups energy, the perfect way to explain it is, if you're in an otherwise decent relationship, it's like the acting as if card. It's treading water in the relationship because, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It means putting on the face and acting as if in front of family, in front of friends, maybe even to each other, because there's this very real reason why you guys are not able to move forward right now. Now, for some of you, it's going to be because something happened within a family connection, something happened within a friendship connection, or maybe even something happened possibly with an outside energy. But until this thing is addressed, you guys are not going to be able to have this turned upright. Now, some of you may be saying, well, if it is a third party, I don't want anything to do with it. Okay. I mean, this is a general message. It's why I want to give the few interpretations that I'm getting. Now, I like the fact that we have the Empress, okay, because this does indicate growth. The fact that the Ten of Swords is reversed does indicate to me that some sort of cycle already ended. This could have been connected with the Five of Swords in the recent past, but where you're in the space of like, okay, I want to move forward in this connection. We may be in a space of delay, and I might be really scared because of what happened here. So you may be needing to work through the energy before this can turn upright. Okay, so for some of you, an issue happened in the relationship that you're trying to work through. Okay, that's for some of you. For others of you, you're deciding not to work through it, to embrace your Empress energy, and to actually put all of this behind you, because this made you feel vulnerable. It made you feel scared. You don't trust them, and you just don't think that you're going to be able to have that ultimate happiness with somebody who you do feel stabbed in the back by. That's going to resonate with others of you, okay? And I feel like those situations have very little to do with the fact that we're quarantined. Others of you, I feel like there were rumbling of like annoyances and sort of these feelings coming to the surface, feeling very vulnerable because life is not the way that it normally is. So I'm getting three different narratives here. I already explained two. This third one is really more based on, you know, because of the COVID situation, there's this stall. There's this stall, and because of the stall, vulnerabilities are popping to the surface. And because of the vulnerability, it's like it's skewing the situation. It's skewing the reality of things. It really is. And when we have swords again are communication coming in. So the communication can be coming in externally that's getting in the way of you guys being able to progress forward, and it's scaring you. For many of you, it might be because of your employment. For others of you, you're trying to figure out how are you ever supposed to get back to a normal relationship again. You know, how is that even possible? So I'm getting very clearly, you guys are the 11th sign I'm doing, and this is the first time I've gotten three very solid messages. So let's go to the outcome here. We have the Devil reverse. So wherever the imbalance is, it's coming to the forefront. So this is so much better in the reverse. So if somebody has a drinking issue, any sort of drug addiction, sex addiction, food addiction, any sort of eating disorder, any sort of imbalance, addicted to anxiety, depression, fear of intimacy, fear of abandonment, any area of imbalance. And when I say any area of imbalance, I mean in a way that's impacting the relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if, like, let's say somebody's completely addicted to working out, where all they want to do is work out and not spend time with their partner. I know so many people like that. You know, I mean, I owned a gym for 10 years. I can't tell you how many relationships I saw go to the wayside because of working out. So any sense of imbalance, right, can definitely have to do with that. But whatever it is, it's coming to light. So that's good. Okay? Whatever it is, it's not going to be under wraps anymore. Four of Swords is a decision to walk away. This is a decision to walk away. I've been talking about this. Just, I want you to understand what that means, right? Because the person's like lying here resting. Yeah, you might feel really emotionally tired, or just tired in general. But in the classic Rider-Waite, we would notice this card, the Four of Swords, being a guy, right, laying on top of a coffin. So really what it is a soldier who just got back from war. Now, before he went to war, in case he died, he actually had a coffin ordered for himself. In case he died, he didn't want his family to have to deal with that. So there's this implication here that the energy, which I'm reading is you, you have a strong fourth house connection, strong fourth house to your family, right? Strong family connection for sure. But on top of that, he comes back and he's just so grateful for having made it through the war. So he lays on top of the coffin and he's laying there feeling very grateful, thinking about his experiences and everything that's gone on up before this point, recognizing that it's time for him to move forward, resting. And in his rest, though, he's figuring out, what lessons do I take with me into my past with me, and what do I leave behind, and what is actually my next step into my new life, now that I've been through all of this. You follow? So some sort of imbalance might have come out. Now, this could have been some sort of shady behavior having to do with the Queen of Wands energy, for sure. Okay? I mean, it can. Egotism, feeling stabbed in the back, somebody feeling like very justified in doing what they did. And this really inciting this Eight of Swords energy where this is the thing. This is Jupiter and Gemini energy. So it's like this information's coming in and you're in the space of trying to figure out how you're supposed to move forward in a very practical way, in a way where you end up, Jupiter is all about luck and expansion, right? Jupiter rules Sagittarius, is about moving forward with integrity, and you're trying to figure out, what does that even look like? How are you supposed to move forward, feeling really good about yourself, feeling like you can attract success when you've gone through something that's quite challenging? But you see how she's just extremely tangled up. And the fact that this is reversed does indicate that you do know, Taurus, that the issue at hand is not coming from you. This is you really getting in touch with the fact that you are doing the very best you can right now. This was an outside piece of information that came in that really illuminated a situation for you. And now you're trying to figure out how to undo, how to get yourself out of the web of this. And then we have the King of Swords in reverse. So you can quite literally not be in communication with this individual, or when you are in communication, you not having the healthiest communication. Either you're being lied to through omission, or you're being given a tongue lashing by somebody, right? Where they're trying to, where there's a lot of deflection and a lot of gaslighting that's going on here, And if you're not familiar with what that means, it's, if they've done something that's very suspect, them trying to flip it around, making it seem like you're doing something, right? And gaslighting is that, classic, if you've been unfortunate enough to be involved with an energy like this, where they say, wow, you really have some problems, Taurus. You really need some help. There's definitely something wrong with you. Everyone thinks it. Everyone. Do you know what I mean? That kind. Ugh. But that is that, because the swords is communication, and in the reverse, it can be manipulative language, right? If there's language at all, but it's this manipulative flipping it around, And yes, oh my gosh. You know what? I go through the cards with you, and so I really like to live in each card and then look at the immediate surrounding, right? So, yeah, you are trying to figure a way out of this energy. Seven of Swords, a card of thievery, for goodness sake. You know, yeah, Moon in Aquarius, feeling one way inside and acting a different way on the outside, dealing with somebody who's wearing a mask. Now, I do want to say, Taurus, this might be you, but let me explain. This might be you in a situation where you can't really act on this new something that came to light. So let's say, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you're living with this person, whether you're married, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's say you're living with this person, or you're in a situation where you can't leave, or you can't make any big changes. This is you acting as if, and you're playing them at their own game. This is you playing somebody at their own game. Can be. That's one of the interpretations of this. Or you are dealing with somebody who's wearing a mask. Or, you know what, could be both. Two things can be true at the same time. Well, you are realizing that somebody is not being really acting with integrity, and you just playing them at their own game because you have to for the time. Something coming to light. You know when you got to leave. You know the issue is not really you. There's manipulation going on here, Taurus. This is not going to resonate with all of you, as all general messages cannot, obviously. So if you're in a fantabulous relationship, obviously, congratulations, this is not for you. But this is somebody here. What I get is that there's some challenging energies, but I still like the fact that you're allowing yourself, you're tapping into your Empress energy, and you're letting that rule the day, and you're being smart, you know, because the Empress, she's very, very smart. Venus is very smart. Venus has her act together. If you think about it, Venus has money on point, relationship on point, and self-esteem on point. That's the fabulous trifecta. Isn't that what we all need, right? She's got it going on. She's not stupid. So this is why I feel like the Seven of Swords might be you doing what you need to do to transition yourself out of this situation and away from this toxicity. Yeah. And I feel like the crowning energy to me doesn't really even help this. I feel like I want to pull another one because only time will tell. Come on now. You know what I mean? You know? All right. I just kind of do. I want to pull another crowning before we pull a line for the near future. All right, let's see. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. And I feel like you're being reminded of this, Taurus. Yes. You're being made to really look at what a good relationship is. Let me sweep this so I don't get the cards all discombobbled. Let me pull just a line for the near future. Yeah, this is you getting in touch. I mean, that's also a very much an Empress energy too. Is getting in touch with what you need. And balance, right? Because the Empress is a Venus energy, and Venus rules Libra, and Libra is about the scales. It's about what's fair. Rules you and Libra. All right. Yeah, being across purposes with yourself. Look at this. Isn't that crazy? What did I just say? And the Justice is a Libra energy. Yep. Oh, the High Priestess. 10 of Wands. Oh, yeah. Whatever Taurus is resonating with this, I mean, I am proud of you because you are allowing yourself, you're across purposes. Okay, that because you're not a robot, all right? Let's give you a break for a minute. Because really, that's all the Two of Swords is. It's, you know, it's a Moon in Libra. Moon is I feel, Libra is relationship. And you're sitting there thinking, all right, what do I do? What's my truth? Do I leave this right now? What do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I go with this energy? Do I go with that energy? You know, maybe you met somebody else. You know, not that you're with anybody else, but maybe you met, you know, somebody, but it doesn't really matter. It's you being at a crossroads with the relationship, really thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do about this relationship? And really, as you're going through the process, you're really very much thinking about what's fair, what's not. You know, again, Justice is Libra, Libra's the scales, Libra's ruled by Venus. So you're really thinking about what is fair in this relationship as far as communication. What does the intimacy look like? Who's bringing what to the table as far as resources? What does your social life look like? Is there fair share when it comes to spending time with family, friends? What does it all look like? Is there mutual reciprocity as far as respecting what you each do for a living? Are you guys there for each other? Do you equally have each other's back? All of that. High Priestess is sitting in the middle. Now, the High Priestess is a moon energy. So this does indicate to me that you're going to be very deep in thought. This means a few things, okay? Because the moon is I feel, and it's what you're feeling very deep inside, and you're really trying to get in touch with what you're feeling. You're in a very, I want to say, for lack of a better term, like a secretive time, meaning right now, Taurus, whatever's on your mind regarding this relationship, don't talk about it to anybody. This is because you're learning about yourself right now. Okay? This does indicate, typically in relationship, going it alone for a little bit. Going it alone. Getting in touch with what it is that you really, really need. Okay? But being really honest with yourself. I actually prefer this energy in the reverse because it's a moon energy, and I always like the moon in reverse better because the moon is I feel, and a lot of times we don't know how we feel. A lot of times we don't know we're supposed to feel something until we're made to feel it, or we don't know we have to look at something until we're made to look at it, and sometimes it can be really confusing, you know, especially when we're dealing with emotions having to do with a relationship, you know. But I do like this because this is you really trying to get in touch with your higher consciousness. And you're trying to be in control of that and taking a step back, taking a breath, taking a step back. 10 of Wands. Cycle's done. Became too hard. Too difficult. Saturn and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity, right? Being blessed with Jupiter and all of that. But you got to put the wands down. It became too hard. Too difficult, too heavy. Saturn, restriction. End of a cycle. We have another ending of a cycle, Death card. So Scorpio energy, ruled by Pluto. Pluto's about transformation. It's the ending of something and at the same time the beginning of something. It's all at once. An ending and a beginning all at once. But, you know, we always have to look at the surrounding cards to get the inflection here. The fact that it's in the reverse does indicate that there's not going to be a rebirth in this area, that you're going to have an ending and a rebirth simultaneously, but the birth is going to be in a different direction. So it's like as soon as energetically, as soon as this ends, something else is going to be right there waiting for you, which, I mean, I'm sorry for something ending, but at the same time, I feel like this is a blessing for you, because this does not seem like a really solid energy for you, Taurus, you know, it doesn't. Now we're going to do an oracle read. The oracle read can be more information about the reading that we just did, or totally separate for another bunch of you Taurus people out there. Sometimes people resonate a lot more with the oracles, okay, than with the tarot. My beloved. My beloved. Mm-hmm. Ah. I tell you what I'm getting here. Oh my gosh, Taurus, 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 Taurus. I love this. I love this. Okay. Let me read them all, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm getting here. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. Okay. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. I get that this, my beloved, is a total manifesting card. Somebody is trying to manifest you right now. Who else did I get this for? I think I got this for Leo as well. Yes. I do feel like this is a continuation of the same reading, but you might be understanding it differently as a general. Yeah. You were dealing with, okay, look, we have close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. You were dealing, this girl with the snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enabling boundaries. So even though this is like the energy that you found yourself in, you are still deserving of love and joy. And then we have cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, playing things over and over and over in your head. Mirroring each other's self-wounds, right? This relationship reflected your wounds. And that's just an energy that you have to work through. These are energies that you have to work through. Absolutely. 3 of Cups, beautiful. Yeah, I like it. Choices. Temperance. 3 of Cups is a celebratory vibe. It's a 3. It's a small number, so it's close to the beginning. I do like this for you. Some Mercury and Cancer energy. So some sort of communication is going to be coming in, having to do with, you're going to be meeting somebody. You're going to be meeting somebody. So whether it's a text message, a phone call, you meet somebody on social media, right? Because, Mercury rules the internet. It doesn't rule technology. That's Uranus, but it rules the internet, the communication that we have on there. And then Cancer energy is all about that metaphorical home space. But feeling really excited and really happy. There's just making a connection. Now, the 7 of Cups is, there's a little of confusion because you have choice here. The only caveat with this is you want to make sure that you're not looking at anybody through rose-colored glasses or not seeing a very clear truth that's very, very evident. Okay? You just, it's a little caveat here. But this is a Venus and Scorpio energy. So there is going to be this change, this transformation. This is like the other side of the death card, right? It's this ending and beginning at the same time, right? But this is happening in relationship. And you're scared. I mean, there's a trepidation about this energy because you know it's in 5 of the Cups, but you don't know it's in 2. And sometimes we tend to fill in because we always want to know like what's going on, right? The scary part here, though, is Scorpio being that card of transformation. There's change, and you don't know what's on the other side of it. And that's making you feel a little scared because it's something new. And, I totally get that. But I love that we get the Temperance energy here. This is so nice. I love this. This is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity. This is about dealing with an energy that says, Taurus, what do you need? And then you saying, person, what do you need? And then you both saying, all right, and what does the relationship need? What do we need to make a successful relationship? It really is the ultimate cooperation card. And I feel like this is a very different energy than you've been dealing with. Really beautiful. Nice celebratory vibe. But you're going to be a little confused. You're going to be a little confused because you're still dealing with some outdated thinking and conditioning. This conditioning, I want to say more than anything. So you might be conditioned to behave and react and respond and think and feel a certain way. And the thing is, when you're conditioned to be like that because you were in a relationship, this is where we get into the whole, can we have PTSD from an unhealthy relationship? Listen, that's an argument to be made for certain, right? Some people say yes, some people say no, but I do think that when we're entrenched in a certain relationship, a certain situation for a significant period of time, it can certainly alter the way we perceive relationship and can even mess with our self-concept, right? For sure. So that might be a knot that you're working on unknotting right now. Yeah. That is what I have for you, Taurus, right now. This is a pretty specific message, so you guys are going to know if it resonated with you. Otherwise, hopefully we'll get you next time, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Be safe, stay healthy, take care. Bye-bye.